Hey, what's up guys, OSJ here with a video that I'm sure we will all have some memories of being on the receiving end of. Games that were way shorter than you anticipated. Okay, so back in the day we had different prices for games, but generally around £10 was the top end for a C64 cassette, down to $1.99 for a budget title. With budget titles we weren't expecting much, but some of these games were full price and certainly not worth the money. But the developers knew how to remedy that and made the games so hard that many people never ever saw just how short the games actually were. I've ordered these 10 games on how long it takes to complete them from longest to shortest, and I'm sure that you will be surprised at just how short they were. So without more delay, let's take a look at 10 Commodore 64 games that were way shorter than you expected. Kicking us off in 10th place we have Danger Freak. Released in 1988 by Rainbow Arts, this is the most expensive game on the list, coming in at $9.99. The game is very hard to complete, but the total time it takes, all things going well, is 7 minutes, which although we get a great Hunchback theme tune, is somewhat not worth the high price tag. Can you imagine paying full whack for this and completing it in less than 8 minutes? You would have been gutted. Ninth place is taken by Combat School. Again, this is a pretty expensive game at £8.95, but really, although you could complete it in around 6 minutes 45, you do get a good game with this one, and to be honest, it's that hard that you probably would have smashed your joystick off the waggling long before you realised the game was short. I can't actually remember completing this as a kid, but it has an extra level after all the events where you have to put your training to good use. The Human Race is in 8th place. This is the second hardest game on the list and has 5 levels of sheer toughness. I doubt anyone will have seen the end of this, to be honest. It's pretty damn tough, and although I can't find the actual sale price, I'm assuming with it being a Mastertronic game that it would have been sold for $1.99 to $2.99, which isn't that bad, to be honest. If you were a superhuman gamer though, you could finish this in around 6 minutes 15. In 7th place we have Hunchback. Released in 1983, it's the earliest game on the list, and again I can't find the price for this as that Acceptor wasn't out, but it was £6.95 on the Spectrum, so we'll go with that. Anyway, this is a game I had and loved on the VIC-20 and the C64, but it is quite hard, so as a kid I never got to the end of all 16 levels, which comprise of only single screens, and saved Esmeralda. But had I been good at it, this would only have taken me 6 minutes to complete, which would have upset me, I think. Sixth place is taken by Ghosts and Goblins. This was released in 1986 by Elite for $9.95, and although it's on the list, it's still a quality game, and when you find out it can be completed from start to finish in under 5 minutes, you don't really care that much, because for the majority of us mere mortals, it was so tough seeing the end was never a thing. There is a new version of this by Nostalgia that has all the arcade levels and takes around 15 minutes to complete. Kung Fu Master is in 5th position. This IRM arcade classic was released by Data East on the C64 in 1985 for £9.95. A lot of money that was in 1985. Well, again, I have to say that I like this one, and this one really sums up what the video is all about. It's a great part of the arcade, and although it's not as hard as the arcade, it's difficult enough for me never to have reached the end in my childhood. It has all the levels of the arcade, though slightly shorter, and can be completed in 4 minutes 30 if you were a ninja. In 4th place we have Commodore. Released in 1985 by Elite, this one was on sale for $9.95. Commodore is on many people's best games list, including mine. The fact that it only has 3 levels never bothered me, because anything after level 2 was unheard of when I was young, and the music was worth the money alone. Although it was marked down in Zap for the value of money factor, as it can be completed in just over 4 minutes. Luckily for us though, as with Ghosts and Goblins, nostalgia has remade this with all the arcade levels, and it's awesome. Rambo First Blood Part 2 was in 3rd position. Now I never paid for this game as it came with my C64 as part of the Hollywood pack, but if I had paid it would have been £8.95. The thing is with this game that even though it can be completed in under 4 minutes, we got a bespoke ocean loader and some great in-game music too. Also the gameplay was super hard, making this a game that a lot of people wouldn't have ever completed the 3, yes, only 3 levels. Still though, I would have been a bit angry at £8.95. Second place is taken by Back to the Future. Now this is a game that really pissed a lot of people off. It's a pure bore fest that capitalised on the success of a brilliant film. Released in the same year as the film in 1985 by Electric Dreams, this was a staggering £9.95 for a game that has no redeeming values at all. And to top it off, it could be completed within 4 minutes. Which although you would be annoyed at the price, the fact that it's all over quickly is a godsend. And now, in first place we have The Last V8. So this is a game renowned for 2 things. One is a great soundtrack by Rob Hubbard, which is right up there amongst my favourite SID tunes, and the other is probably the worst controls on the C64. Because of these controls, people probably didn't realise that the dirty little secret of the game is that it only has 2 levels, which the whole game can be completed in an anger-inducing 2 minutes and 12 seconds. I mean, I know this was a budget game from Mad and was sold for $2.99, but that's £2.98 too much, even with the music. There was also a version for the Commodore 128 which had another level, but still not worth it. Okay, that's it for this video. I'm sure that a lot of you will be surprised at the shortness of these games, but luckily for us as kids we never found out about them due to the difficulty. Let me know in the comments below of any C64 games you can remember being thoroughly disappointed with due to the shortness of the game after paying good cash for it. Also, please remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more great retro content. And if you're feeling really generous like this list of absolute diamonds going up the screen right now, get on over to my Patreon channel. Till next time, this is OSG, signing out.